In this one, I wanted to talk about, not fully, because the reason why I did my episodes a different way, where it had a numerological way of going and also certain topics, was because when I start talking like this, if people don't know, because I'm not going to break down into what everything means, if they want, they can go back to those keyword titles and check on those episodes. But I wanted to touch base on what's happening in today's world and why we're experiencing this kind of stuff. And when I say why, it doesn't mean that it's why for you. I believe it is, but it doesn't mean it is for you. And that's completely fair, fine, I understand. But I am going to share in my perspective of why things are going this way. And it's not just my perspective. A lot of people who follow energy have the same perspective. And if you want to know how we believe it to be true, I think it comes down to, we have things, messages come in through our intuition and gut and from within. And somehow when someone else says it, it confirms that it's true, is because you never told anyone else. You didn't hear it from anyone else. You knew it from inside, but you weren't sure. And so when you hear someone else speak of it, it resonates with you to be true. And from there, when you start learning to trust that, and from there, when you start seeing all the different ways it is showing you that what is inside is truth, then from there is when, you continue to grow into what I would like to share today, is because people often wonder where I get the stuff from, and most of it is from within. I do meditate, but you don't have to meditate to get it. I have been working on my intuition since always, and when I get things, I know when to trust them now, and I know when to allow them to sit for a bit until something else comes in to help me to trust it. And now I am still working on trusting things quicker, because it's pretty crazy how much you can know if you allow yourself to be open to it. So what's happening today in today's world and time is that we are going through a cycle of vibration raising. The cycle we are in is going up. It's going into the light. And I have my personal feelings about this, and I'll share that in a different one, but I just want everyone to know that the things that you're going through is not just that you're going through this and life is shitty or, all that kind of stuff. It basically is, there's an energy coming in, is changing things up, and it's up to you to decide if you wish to change and vibrate at that frequency or if you wish to stay the same. Now, the thing that makes this one tough is, before in past, when we decide to stay the same, it was okay, because that energy was vibrating at a level that we can still vibrate with. But what's happening is, as we're going, and it's happening faster and faster, we did have years of transition, about 4 to 5 years to be exact, but we didn't know fully. I didn't know. I didn't know until the transition year had been over, really, that we even had transition time. And I'm sure many people I'm talking to about this will be like, what are you even talking about? But so we had a transition time. And now we are going, and the energy is changing. And so everything is happening quick. We are also going to have a time, well, we are going through it now and constantly going to be going through it for a while here, of opposites, meaning that what everything is going to show the extremes of everything. So the people having a hard time is really going to show. The people having an okay time is definitely going to show. And we're going to see the contrast. Right now, contrasts are going to be very obvious to us, and we're going to see that. And it's all up to you on what you wish. Now, what does that entail? Does that mean you can just sit there and live your life comfortably as you choose? You totally can, and it really depends on who you are. At the same time, though, does that mean it could lead to sickness and death? It definitely can, because you, I don't want to say you have to understand here, but what is helpful to understand here is that everything is energy, and how it vibrates it affects everything. So basically, I guess a good example would be like a radio. When you tune in, and this is definitely not my example, but it's a good one. When you tune into a radio and you have that perfect sound, that is when you're aligned with that frequency. Whereas when you are a bit off, and I think they call it dissonance because it's a bit off, and while it's still there, it's a bit fuzzy. Now in that is where some things don't enjoy existing, and some things, that's their environment to exist. And so when right now, with the frequency being higher vibrating, which means that when we tune into that, we kind of need to be in line with that to have that good sound, a good vibration, the alignment of perfect symmetry, synchronicity, all of that. Whereas when you aren't vibrating at that, that is when you get sick. That is when you might choose to exit. That is when a lot of sad things or life doesn't feel like it's going for you. And how is it that you get into that vibrancy of synchronicity? It's about you aligning with you, and that's it. The truth is, how we vibrate at our highest frequency is to do what makes us happiest. And isn't it crazy? It is crazy to say that in life, what's the best way to live is to just be your truest, happiest self. And from there, all of life is amazing. You're in sync. Everything just falls into place. You're in line. Abundance. You live the life that you always wanted. And while it is all that, is that easy? And I'm going to be honest, it's not. I know it's not. I came from where you came from. We all came from the same place. And even though we're going, and I'm going too, it's still not easy now. And it's not easy when you're not okay with yourself. And it's not easy when you have all these distractions going on. So no, it's not easy. No, it is work. But at the same time, it's totally worth it. And it's because you're worth it. And that's why it matters that you believe you deserve it, is because if you don't believe you deserve it, you're not going to go and let yourself and allow yourself to be there. The truth is, all of us here on earth right now do deserve it. And when I say that, I also mean the other side, which most people would be angry at them, not forgive them, say that they deserve to go to hell or be sacrificed or tortured, which is fine. I completely understand that. But when you understand things even further and realize that that stuff had to happen for us to even be here, to wish to choose to do that, and how this whole cycle is happening, and how we affect each other, and how we help each other, how we contrast each other, and how we are there for each other to exist, then you are more thankful and appreciative for what it is. And which is where we're trying to get to. But first of all, we need to work on ourselves and loving ourselves, being happy with ourselves, knowing that we deserve whatever it is we wish to, and stepping and taking those steps to create the lives we wish to experience. When I say that too, it's nothing big. It's up to you how big or little you wish it to be. And just know too, when you take those little steps, the universe gives back so much more. And then you continue to take steps and the universe gives back more. But you have to give it something. And that's another thing. It is law of attraction with the universe. They don't give you what you don't ask for. And when you say, oh, but I don't have what I've been asking for, but what have you been asking? And that goes back to my episodes, I think early episodes, like 11 and stuff, about opposite energy, sending out the opposite, why you attract the opposite, learning the difference between your head and heart voice, to actually figure out what you are asking for. Because while one of us might be like, I'm asking for all the money in the world, but inside, when you ask for it, do you believe you actually deserve it? And right away you can be like, yes, of course I deserve it. But when you dig down deeper beneath that layer, what is happening inside? What is it? And that's why being honest is so key in everything, is because when you're not honest, it's harder to find the answers within yourself. You have to keep digging down, even if you constantly, like, I told myself yes 10 times, I don't understand anything more, but you're not, have you changed how you're seeing it? Have you changed any of that? Are you looking at it from a different perspective? Have you asked a different question? Have you gone deeper? Have you said the things that you're scared to say? It's constantly going deeper, deeper, deeper than you think, and revealing things about yourself that even you have hidden from yourself and hide from everyone else. We are the greatest liars to ourselves. We think that we have it all figured out. We think we're telling ourselves the truth until we realize that we have taught ourselves to be great liars to ourselves. And when you can be fully honest with yourself, and you continue to be fully honest, everything ends up being quicker, is because now you know that that was different than what you thought, and that it changed, and that you weren't actually having the full alignment of asking for that energy, that you were sending out an opposite message, and that is what you were receiving. And yeah, it's definitely being more conscious, and that, but at the same time, consciousness is the energy that is surrounding us, and so more and more of us are more conscious. And even if you tried to ignore it, know that you're ignoring it, and don't be mean to yourself about it. If you're ignoring it, be honest. Be like, okay, I guess I am ignoring it. Why? It goes back to, oh, I guess I don't love my, like it all goes back to the same kind of things. And it's not just black and white. It's not just yes or no. It's not like, oh, it says I don't love myself, but I feel like I love myself, so I don't understand. There are different degrees of stuff. You can love yourself fully, but you love yourself fully every day. And it's just constantly knowing that. And for me, I do love myself every day, but I do have different degrees. Sometimes I'm happy with how it is, and sometimes I'm not happy with how it is, even though for that day, it doesn't mean I don't love myself fully, because I do. I just wasn't happy with that day. And it's just learning this stuff about yourself and being honest about everything, I think is the best way, though it doesn't have to be for you. And I understand it's different for everybody, and whatever works for you, be happy with how it works for you, if you're happy with how it works for you. And this is just the way that I found and have been able to help people with, is when we go this way, and it kind of has those shortcuts for you to get to making decisions quicker, faster, and experiencing the life that you wish to. Anyways, love you all. Oh, I guess another thing is, am I experiencing the life that I wish to? For me, I am at the steps of experiencing that life that I wish to. I am also the one that held myself back from it. At the same time, universally, it is meant to be now. I do believe in divine timing, and I have been told my whole life that I am a late bloomer, and this everything else works out to this is the perfect timing. I also no, I believe in reasons for everything. And so even though there was that timing, I also worked on getting myself here to be able to, I guess, speak in front of people like this-ish. Not truly people. We'll see how that happens when that comes. But it's just, it's taking the time to learn your lessons, taking the time for your growth. It's trusting that everything happens for a reason, and that you are exactly where you're meant to be in the time that you're meant to be. And just because you don't think in one timing of your life that you don't feel like you could be there later, as you go through stuff, all of a sudden you are able to be there later, even though you couldn't see it back then. And it's pretty crazy and exciting. So yes, I was kind of holding myself back as I fear opening to everyone. At the same time, what I'm meant to do is open to everyone, and it's me taking steps to be comfortable, uncomfortable, and learning again balance of everything. So yeah. Thank you guys, and love you guys, and good luck loving yourself fully and being honest fully with yourself. It truly, if everyone could be honest with themselves and with everyone else, we would be living in a very different world. Does it need to get all the way there? No, not fully. I don't think everyone would have a good time then, because if you watch that movie, like The Invention of Lying, it's funny is because there are extremes and there's the balance, and we're at an extreme right now trying to get back to a balance. I'd rather go, I'm pretty sure we lived extreme, now we're at this extreme, and now we're going balance, and we have done that so many times, but yeah, right now it's balance. It's not extreme to the next extreme, even if maybe you experience that. And now I'm just babbling on. Okay.